Howdy folks, my name is Richie aka Bog Otter, back with another Living World story playthrough in Guild Wars 2. Today, the Dragon's Reach Part 2 patch has landed, and I'm going to jump right into the story by clicking on this little star, this little green star that's beckoning me. Alright, here we go, the Dragon's Reach Part 2, we're going to view it. World leaders are converging for a historic summit in the spreading shadow of Morjamoth's advance. Can you convince uneasy allies to cooperate, or will political turmoil spell Tyria's doom? Alright, let's play this. Alright, so we're going to check our mail from, it's called Ministry Treachery. And I've got random Sylvari, like, conversations interrupting me. Stop that. People, everyone, be quiet, please. Please, please be quiet. We have important things to discuss. An uneasy summit. Alright. It's quiet here. Okay, let's check the mail. Alright, I hope this finds you well. Alright, this is from Casimir. That's it. That is it.
I'd love to take a ship south.
What is it with you people? That's it. I'm muting you. Nobody talk right now. That's it. I'm reading. I'll turn that back on later. Alright, I'll probably forget, and then I'll be like, why is there no voiceover in this cutscene? Okay, Casimir says, I'm afraid my efforts to get the Queen to the summit haven't gone as smoothly as expected. Oh, I thought this was a shoo-in. The Queen has had a situation arise that may prevent her from attending. I'll give you the full details when you arrive, but the short version is that someone is spreading rumors that Queen Jenna not only met with evil Scarlet prior to the Queen's Jubilee celebration, but also conspired to give Scarlet the mechanical watch nights. What? This is of course ridiculous, but the Queen can't leave Divinity's reach until these rumors are squelched. Countess Anise has suggested that I use my intuitive ability to find the cad spreading the rumors and discredit them, but I don't want to do this alone. Will you come help me? That's an interesting plot twist. And yes, I will come help you. Because that's the kind of hero I am. To Divinity's Reach. We're heading to the Balthazar Low Road over here. And there's a star. Would you like to continue story party politics? Yes. Party, party, party. Ooh, look at the balloons. I want a red balloon. I want a red balloon. All right, there she is.
Let me catch you up on what's happening. Queen Jenna can't attend the summit because someone has accused her of conspiring with Scarlet. The hearing is the same day.
Isn't that convenient?
Someone's lying, and we have to figure out who. Soon as we know, we can confront that person and get them to recant their statement. We need to talk to everyone. Find clues to the truth, and build evidence to defend the Queen. Once we discover who among them is the mastermind, we'll take action.
Okay.
But be careful. These people are suspicious and sensitive. Say something too blunt or off-putting, and they'll clam up. If we're obviously undermining their plans, they'll have us escorted out of the party, and it will all have been for nothing.
Okay, Smooth is my middle name. I'm Richie Smooth Procopio. Okay, so let's talk to her, see if she's anything else to say. They'll introduce us at the steps. Okay, I guess here we go. Let's head to the steps. Nice little party action. Got some balloons. Hey, we get fanfare.
Introducing a hero who needs no introduction, the Commander of the Pact, and accompanying the Casimir Mead.
She's not a lady anymore.
Keep it together, Kaz. You can get through this. Be confident, like Jory.
Casimir, come over here. Don't look so glum.
Here's the Countess.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre? Hello, dear Casimir. Don't worry your little face over what the Herald's papers say. You'll always be noble in my eyes.
Countess Anise, that's direct and kind of you to say. I'm afraid I don't feel particularly noble.
Then we must do something about that. Nobility isn't in the blood, as so many believe. It's in your choices. Your return to grace is only a pardon away. If your talent for detecting lies is all you say it is, well, let's just say I'm confident we can convince the Queen your value overrides your father's misfortune.
Interesting.
I only hope to be of some small service, Countess.
So maybe we can help her become a lady again.
Oh dear. Okay.
No
Let's
pressure.
start picking apart everything they say. One of these ministers is spreading lies about the Queen.
Don't misunderstand, Countess. I'm certainly grateful to you for purchasing my billet and putting me to work. I'm just not sure I understand the
Canuck.
reasoning behind dragging me to this soiree of yours.
Well, I instantly don't trust Canuck, right? This is Savari. We fought him in South Sun. He had Canuck's lair. He's part of, I think, the consortium, right? I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, and I shouldn't be throwing anybody with my bad back and all. Canuck, careful there. You don't want to be seen getting too friendly with the staff. Why are you here? I'm on the job. Bodyguard for a countess. A somewhat more glamorous position than my last, I must say. You mean your position as prisoner? Yes, and thanks for stating the obvious painful truth. Technically, I'm still a prisoner. It's just now my bars are lined with velvet. Don't let that fool you, though. I'm definitely not free. The countess owns you now? That's harsh. I wouldn't say that. More like I am on loan to her from the prison. So long as I'm a good grunt, she'll keep me with her and I don't have to go back to the cell. So are you planning on behaving yourself? Absolutely. I'm no fool. I could be in a much worse situation than this. I guess you could say I learned my lesson. I know I have a reputation for acting rashly, but those days are behind me. Pardon me if I don't entirely believe you. No pardon necessary. You're in a crowd of many watching me like hawks. So far, Countess Anise has treated me with respect. I have no reason to betray her trust. Besides, she amuses me mightily. I'll be at the front of the hunting party if you mess this up. I would expect no less, though I do believe you might have a hard time catching me again. No offense intended. Okay, so that's interesting. He's under kind of like a house arrest. They're making use of his talents, I guess. Alright, so there are these little circles on the map. Alright, so there's 3 different areas I guess we have to talk to people. Noble, noble, noble. Look. Lots of noble, noble, nobles.
He was up ill all last night. I told him not to eat that 4th pie.
Only 4 pies? What a wimp.
But I thought for certain it was Minister Wee who attended court the day Scarlet was there. Are you sure?
Aha, here's a guy we could talk to.
My time is precious.
Tell me, have you tried...
I have a vague recollection of that crazy Sylvari walking into her audience with the Queen. This was well before the attack on the city, by the way. I still don't know why I noticed her. I was expecting to see Minister Wee's wife here today. Yeah, so do you like gardening? What? Alright, let's see. Lady Wee, she gets the vapors. Fragile constitution. Poor dear, can't keep up with her husband. Apparently neither can I. I thought he was in court the day Scarlet had an audience with the Queen. Were you attending court that day? Laugh. If you've seen the minister, you've seen them all. One minister, you've seen them all. And if he was, then he probably involved in these nasty lies about the Queen. That's a little bit too direct. Let's ask if he was in court that day.
Here, I can get you some.
No, I was in the foyer. I saw them enter. There weren't many in attendance that day. I remember seeing a farmer with a complaint against his neighbor. He brought his goat along.
May I take your glass? If you're finished.
Okay, and I laughed, and it's the dour look on all their faces. But seriously, it's rather difficult to confuse Minister Wee with Minister Estelle, or even Minister Arden. My memory just isn't what it used to be. Which one did you confuse with Minister Wee? I saw Estelle enter the throne room along with the goat farmer, Minister Arden, and a Sylvari. That wretch turned out to be Scarlet, she did.
I remember hearing afterward that Scarlet approached the Queen. No one paid any attention back then. Scarlet was a nobody until the Queen's Jubilee.
Isn't that the cat from the Eastern Commons? The fancy one? Jaunty Snuffles or something?
Jaunty Snuffles.
Who put that hat on him? Adorable.
Oh, it's Chauncey Von Snuffles III. He's at the party. He's hobnobbing. Yes. You kitty, kitty, kitty. Would you like a piece of bread? No, probably not.
Ooh, wherever did you get that charming brooch, dear?
You can make a hat, or a brooch, or a pterodactyl. Ah! Who can we talk to here? Anybody? Oh, here's Minister.
And then he asked me which pair I wanted, to suggest I couldn't afford both. Why, I should have slapped him on the spot.
Oh, you should have totally. All right, here's Minister Wee.
How did that cat get in here?
It's really a pity my wife had to miss the party. She just loves these sort of things, but work is work.
I understand you keep up appearances while Lady Wee undermines the Queen. No. Have you heard that the Queen is increasing taxing for landowners?
What? I thought only workers pay taxes. Why ever would you tax landowners? That's ridiculous.
It's just a rumor. Probably bad information. Alright, that doesn't clear out.
Greetings.
It doesn't actually clear out the green circle here. How Lady Anise persuaded Chauncey to grace her party, I'll never know. She's more resourceful than I thought. This is truly the classiest occasion I've attended since Lady Wee's clambake. Clambake? Oh, mercy me, how confusing that must sound. Lady Wee has a little rebel in her, don't you know? She insisted we call her seafood banquet a clambake. So edgy. Weird. That was weird.
I wish Anise hadn't invited the ministers. They make me so uncomfortable. Especially Minister... Excuse me, are you eavesdropping?
Yes, I was eavesdropping. That's why I want to talk to her. You do realize, I'm sure, that it's rude to eavesdrop, were you? No, my lady, I merely wanted to introduce myself. Oh, I do beg pardon. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Lady Allison, and my companion here is Lady Brynda. Ah, are you enjoying the party? Some of the guests seem rather tense. I wouldn't think anyone could ignore such a beautiful night as this. Oh, I'm quite sure that some of the ministers prefer dark nights like this to sunny days. That's true in my culture as well. I don't get out much, but I would like to visit where you're from. Tell me, how do you find our fair city? It's glorious, a real accomplishment. She's not lying, but she's being evasive. Try again and press her for more information whenever she talks about the ministers. Some of the guests seem rather tense. A particular minister makes you feel uncomfortable? Minister Cauticus. Uh-oh, him again? Of course, he surrounds himself with intrigue, cloaks, daggers, shadows, and all that nasty business. Don't let him look upon you, my dear. Once he has you in your sights, you're doomed.
Oh, I knew those om-nom berries were out of season.
Okay, I hear one minister is spreading nasty rumors about the Queen. Yes, Minister Cauticus is behind it, but he never involves himself directly. He has others do his dirty work, like Estelle and Arton. They were awfully talkative with him at the last party.
Of course. Cauticus would be involved in anything that undermines the Queen. But he's not the one accusing her. We have to find that person.
Okay, so the puppets of Cauticus. What are these guys doing over here?
I see Minister Estelle has political ambitions. She's been having a lot of private meetings with Minister Cauticus.
Ah.
What? Minister Estelle is being pressured by Minister Marula to retire? Well, she would never. She's far too ambitious.
All right, let's talk to this dude. Hey, Noble.
May the Six watch over you.
I'm gonna get more punch. It's so fruity. Wait, I want to ask you something. Only if you make it quick. I'm so excited. All right, I think that spreading rumors about the Queen would prove very exciting. Two-faced liar, I doubt you truly appreciate the hospitality, or is that what Minister Estelle wants to retire? A lack of excitement? Let's do that.
I can take that. Thank you.
Undoubtedly, she likes to be the thick of things, but Cauticus has her doing clerical work lately. She meets with him regularly, from what I've heard. He'll talk her out of retiring, I'm sure.
I've never met Minister Estelle. If she's been meeting with Cauticus, she may know something.
My mind is spinning so much information. Can you make heads or tails of it? Well, we learned a few things. First, we know who was in court that day. Yes, a farmer with a goat, two ministers, Estelle and Arton, and a Scarlet. And we know that Cauticus lets others do his dirty work for him. We've also heard that both Estelle and Arton have seen Cauticus lately. It must be one of them. Let's talk to Minister Arton first. Okay, we'll get to the bottom of this. I think it's Chauncey von Snuffles. It's Professor Otto von Schnitzelpuss Kronke de Schenkmeyer. It's gotta be him. And...
Stop right there. I don't care about your dog's new haircut.
Neither do I. Where am I trying to look here? Where's Arton? Oh, he's up top there. How do we get up there? We go over the bridge and through the woods.
Being distracted, Countess. What are you looking for in this crowd? I could lend my eyes and ears to your...
Okay, here's Arton.
May I fill your glass for you?
An open mind is best. As I was telling my old friend Cauticus the other day, we really must do something about these bandits. They are a hazard. I have reason to believe they're connected to the White Mantle.
Good to see you, Minister.
Did you see Scarlet the day she had an audience with the Queen?
I did. There were four of us in the throne room, with the Queen and the Countess Anise. And the guards, of course. It was Scarlet, me, Minister Estelle, and some dirty farmer with a goat.
And the Queen spoke to Scarlet?
Yes, she was polite as always, but the Countess kept whispering in the Queen's ear. It was making all of us nervous. Scarlet wanted permission to study with the engineer that designed the watch nights.
And what did the Queen say? She respectively declined. Scarlet was the last in the line, and the Scarlet... let's read that again, shall we? She respectfully declined. Scarlet was the last in line, and the Queen left before there could be any more discussion. Scarlet tried to say more, but the Queen apologized and hurried out. Anything else? The Sovare Scarlet looked livid. She stormed out, shoving guards out of her way. She was rather frightening, actually. I imagine that's what Countess Anise saw that made her hustle the Queen away. Cast, does this testimony line up? His description of the events perfectly matches what Anise told me. Minister Arton is telling the truth. He must not be the one.
You've convinced me. It looks like Minister Estelle is the one spreading this horrible rumor. Let's keep at it. If we're going to confront her, we'll need serious evidence to back us up.
Alright, we gotta gather incriminating evidence now.
I know for a fact that the Queen had a private talk with Scarlet. How? Everyone is saying it, so it must be true.
Let's talk to Lady Claire here.
Waiter. Oh, pardon me.
I'm not a waiter. What do you want me? Don't you dare! How dare you? I'm the person who killed Zaitan. I'm the guy who killed Scarlet. All right, I'll get you something. What do you want? Cookie? Hello. We were just discussing how horrible it is that the Queen betrayed us all. Ugh. That's just a bad rumor, a lie. No, it is not. I saw her in the Salma district shortly after nightfall. She wore a black woolen coat with the hood up. The only reason I knew it was hers is because I bumped into her and saw her face. Casimir, what do you think? Her eye twitched when she said that. I don't think it's the truth. I'm gonna tell her, you're lying. Listen, just between you and me, I may not be telling the exact truth, but they offered me a lot of gold. I'd say I was there. Please, you can't tell anyone. You're gonna have to testify. Oh, all right, I'll testify that I was paid to lie, but I'll never say who paid me. I don't betray old friends. Still, I wasn't comfortable lying. My son is ill. I hope the Queen will forgive me. But she's probably going to throw you in jail.
I had a feeling she was lying. The Queen wouldn't hold a private meeting with just anyone, much less a Sylvari with no political connections. This woman will testify.
All right, so we've got Lady Claire on our side. Servant.
You seem friendly.
It makes me so mad to think that people who run our city, our kingdom, can't get along with each other. Now one of the ministers is spreading lies about the Queen.
I'll pay for any information you have on the lying minister. I've had some experience with ministers, not all are bad. And who do you work for? Well, let's pay. That's generous, but I have nothing to say. I am employed by Minister Arton. I won't shoot myself in the foot for a few coins. Well, how about I've had experience with ministers, not all are bad. Both my wife and I work for ministers. They can be like night and day. My wife works for Minister Estelle. I work for Minister Arton. Do you like your jobs? Most days, my wife has a harder time. Her minister has a gambling problem. If she's winning, she's fine. If not, she's dangerous. Would she know where Estelle was the night of the alleged meeting? Maybe. Estelle often visits her old lady friend Claire in the evening. Ask my wife if she knows what happened. She's a good woman and won't lie to protect a minister.
That's another witness who can help us prove the
Yeah,
Queen's
that's good
innocence.
stuff.
Nicely done.
I know. I was really good there. First I tried to bribe him. That didn't work at all. And then I tried to talk to him sensibly.
Oh, no. Avoid anything remotely
You seem
equestrian.
distracted, Countess. What are you looking for in this crowd?
Looking for a liar, a
You must
thief.
be mistaken. My niece knows a guard who heard from a doorman that the Queen... I've said too much.
Mind if I help myself to some of your...
Okay, so here we go. Oh, you! You're well known in these parts. The Queen mentioned recently you were hosting a summit. She'd like very much to attend. That would be complicated. Oh, I know. Those lies Estelle is spreading. Can you imagine our barefoot Queen skulking through the streets at night in disguise? It's laughable. You don't think she met with Scarlet? Let's see what Casimir thinks. Look at her breathing. It's even calm. I believe she's telling the truth. So she didn't meet with Scarlet, but mesmers use illusions to sneak around. In the throne room, yes, but not in the streets. A Char emissary visited the Queen that night. While the emissary since left, the guard who was present will testify. Good to know.
Countess Anise hardly ever lets the Queen out of her sight. She and the guard will corroborate the Queen's alibi.
Okay, what do you think? Do we have enough to discredit? Plenty. That servant's wife can testify that Estelle met with Lady Claire. Maybe the threat of her testifying will be enough to shut this down. What else? We have multiple witnesses who say the Queen turned down Scarlet's request. I still can't believe Scarlet wanted to study with the Watch Night engineer. Thank the gods the Queen turned her down. Though that might explain Scarlet's anger when she attacked our city. What else? We also know that Estelle's friend was lying to her. For a pouch of gold, you mean? Estelle may have coached Lady Claire. I don't imagine it would be too hard to get her to testify to the lie. I guess they weren't such good friends after all.
May I take your glass?
We are ready.
Everything we need. Time to expose Minister Estelle for the
Let's
liar
go confront
she
her.
is.
Confront the liar.
May I fill your glass for you?
Looks like we've got everything we need.
Here we go. This is gonna be fun.
Gentlemen, please
Minister
leave.
Estelle for the liar.
I see you've been busy socializing with the guests.
Yes, we've learned quite a bit about you, Minister Estelle, and you might have gotten away with it if it wasn't for us meddling kids. I know all about you. Listen closely to what Estelle says. Once she's finished, don't be afraid to ask her to repeat what she said. Press her only when you're certain she's lying. So she can just coach me like that while I'm standing right in front of her? Alright, I have a question. Is it true that you work closely with Lord Caudicus? I used to work with Lord Caudicus, but now I'm considering retirement. I've started spending most of my time in the Ministry Library. I hardly ever see him. Tell me more. Admittedly, I occasionally do small tasks for him, but he's still recovering from that awful scandal. He keeps to himself most of the time. Tell me more, tell me more. Even at parties, Lord Caudicus is off doing his own thing, and I'm left to my own devices. I'm just a wallflower, really.
Thank you.
Casimir, psst, what do you think? She keeps backpedaling. Press her when she lies, and then present your evidence to counter her arguments. Minister Estelle, can you repeat that? I used to work with Caudicus, but now I'm considering retirement. I've started spending most of my time in the Ministry Library. I hardly ever see him. Well, that's kind of interesting. You know how to repeat the same line over and over again. That's not what I heard. Why would I lie about something like that? He's my boss's boss's boss. I don't work directly with him. I met someone who says you see Caudicus often. Admittedly, I occasionally do small tasks for him, but he's still recovering from that awful scandal. He keeps to himself most of the time. But you attended his garden party not too long ago. Oh, yes, I did. I nearly forgot about that. There was a large crowd there. I only saw the legate minister from across the roses. I heard there was only a handful of people there. Even at parties, Lord Caudicus is off on his own, doing his own thing, and I'm left to my own devices. I'm just a wallflower, really. Shy, huh? Casimir, what do you think? Alright, let's do shy, huh? Oh, yes, I barely spoke with anyone during that entire party. Beautiful garden, though. A witness said you had an aside with Caudicus. He talked. You nodded. Fine, he and I talked, but you'll never learn the topic of that conversation, and you can't prove it had anything to do with the Queen. I don't have to prove it. I just have to discredit you.
So perhaps I misspoke. Apologies. I shall revise my statement.
Reject the minister's statement, alright?
What?
So what if I work with Lord Caudicus? It means nothing. It doesn't change the fact that I was there when Scarlet had her audience with the Queen. Did you hear what the Queen discussed with Scarlet? No, they spoke too quietly, like schoolgirl friends whispering so no one else would hear. I must have been lost in my own thoughts while the Queen and Scarlet conspired deviously. I heard the word watch nights. Isn't that bad enough? Do you know how many people died because the Queen gave Scarlet access to the watch nights? Why are you still interrogating me? She's the criminal. Casimir. She's clever and slippery, but you can nail down those lies. Catch her off guard when she slips up. Alright, so she just repeats the story now, and now we poke things in? Alright, that's a lie. You heard everything. I heard hushed words, but I couldn't make out any of them. The Queen seemed pleased, though. Minister Arton heard everything. His ears must be better than yours. I must have been lost in my own thoughts while the Queen and Scarlet conspired deviously. But I heard the Queen was escorted out for her safety. You weren't there. You can't possibly know how they behaved, unless you questioned the goat. But I spoke with Arton. His version agrees with the Countess's and the goat's. Yes, one person's politeness is another's friendliness.
Aren't you the nosy one? If you must know, I'll tell you what really happened.
Oh yeah? I can't wait to hear this.
What?
It doesn't matter what happened in the throne room. The Queen arranged to meet Scarlet later the evening. She didn't want any of us to hear them, so she sneaked out. You're sticking by the claim that they arranged this in the throne room? Absolutely. Their foreheads were practically touching. They were so chummy. They agreed to something, and what else could it be? So it was brief, a look, a smile. Maybe they'd already arranged to meet later. I don't know. All I know is I saw them under the bridge. It was the Queen and Scarlet. I'm not the only one who saw her. There was another witness who came forward, a noblewoman. Why are you working so hard to protect Queen Jenna? She sold us all out, and now she's just trying to cover her tracks. It was definitely Jenna in a red cape. You've been whispering this whole time. I won't have it. It's rude. Seriously. God, she caught me and Casimir, like, whispering back and forth. Seriously, all right. If you would please repeat your last statement, then. All right, they're about their foreheads touching and being chummy. You're crazy. Anise would never let Scarlet get that close to the Queen. Oh, yes, she was in on it, too. All smiles and pet this and pet that. Minister Art describes a very different atmosphere. So it was brief, a look, a smile. All right, it was just the Queen and Scarlet. Impossible. What time did you see them?
Audacity.
Uh-oh.
Where are your manners?
Cutscene?
Guards, please escort these scandal mongers to the gates.
Oh no. This isn't what was supposed to happen.
No, we got caught doing something bad. What just happened? Oh, that was disorienting. My goodness. It felt like a mesmer spell. I think Anise created a diversion for us. Let's get back to the party. So I guess that happens if
anger rising.
You arouse too much suspicion or something? Let's try that again. Hey, Casimir, how'd you get there so quick?
Is this a party or a circus?
Alright, here we go. Let's get back to where we were. Casimir, what do you think? You've been whispering the whole time. It's rude. Alright, you're crazy. Anise would never let Scarlet get that close to the Queen. Let's do tell me more. So it was brief. I'm going to say tell me more. I'm not the only one who saw her. There was another witness who came forward, a noblewoman. Tell me more. Why are you working so hard to protect the Queen? It was definitely Jenna in a red cape, but you told your accomplice to say it was a black cape. No, it was a red cape, I think. Have you forgotten? You're trying to confuse me. It was a red cape, I'm sure of it. Dark red. If you and your old friend can't agree on the color of the Queen's cape... Wait, I remember now. The Queen was in a black cape. Yes, Countess Anise was in a red one. Did I forget to mention they were both there? You know the Countess wouldn't let the Queen go anywhere alone. So you're saying the Countess Anise was there too. What? Clearly, we need to discuss this further.
This way.
Alright, so she changed her story when we caught her.
We're done here.
We have to eliminate any doubt at all if there's even the smallest chance that Estella's telling the truth. She's not, but we need to hear Anise say she wasn't under that bridge. I'm sure I'd have sensed if this were some kind of mesmer cover-up, don't you think? It doesn't matter. I know if the Countess is lying when we ask her. So we gotta go say, hey, were you wearing a black cape? Or I mean a red cape? Were you wearing a black and red cape? I mean, were you there with Scarlet? Were you there? She's gonna get mad. She's like, of course I wasn't.
Stop. Don't approach her. It's an illusion. I am elsewhere. Find me, and we shall talk.
Oh, that's an illusion. That's not the real Countess Anise. So where is she? Hello?
My apologies for the deception.
Oh, here she is.
But I must go to unconventional lengths to protect Kryta.
Countess, Minister Estelle is claiming that you were there at this secret meeting. She's implicating you.
Nonsense. I was at no such meeting. I did, however, receive a mysterious message signed only with the initial
It's E again.
The note said that Estelle was in a bandit gambling parlor when she was supposedly spying on our queen. Reminding her of this will be enough to make her drop her lie. Faster than Farron's dignity.
Okay. So now we've got the evidence we need. She was gambling.
Swiftly.
While, Countess, but I finally realized my part in your misdirection. If you can hear me through your illusion, don't worry.
It's kind of cool that she can project herself like that.
You again?
Yes.
I hope you're not planning another interrogation. This is a party, if you haven't noticed.
Actually, Minister, it is several people's word against yours. What are you talking about? As someone said they'd testify against me, we have witnesses who will support Countess Anise's story. Traitors to the Ministry! Traitors! They'll find themselves in the street soon. I doubt it. The Queen has positions for those who are honest and honorable. There are those of us who see through the Ministry's lies, and our numbers are growing.
I'll have you know I'm very well connected, and
Your connections can't help with this. We know what you've been up to.
What do you mean?
She's not
We
even
know
talking.
you couldn't have
Turn
witnessed the
around.
supposed meeting with Scarlet. We hear you were busy meeting with some lobbyists that day.
Lobbyist? What are you talking about?
So much for subtlety. You were busy gambling with some ruffians.
Keep your voice down. That's a baseless accusation.
Is that so, Minister Estelle? Perhaps you and I should
There's the
speak
Countess.
privately and sort this little mess
Careful,
out.
Nanda.
Please follow my guards. I'll be with you shortly.
Countess Anise, thank you for inviting us to your party.
I can take that.
It's been
Thank
an
you.
entertaining and productive evening.
It
No
has.
one is more delighted by your presence than I. With all that socializing and skullduggery, you must be craving the longest of naps. Now that this messy affair is out of the way, I feel fairly certain Queen Jenna will attend your summit. I think Minister Estelle will soon see the value in cooperating with me, rather than rotting in prison for treason. I may have use for her. On a separate note, I do hope you will stay and join the Queen's entourage, Casimir.
Queen's
You mean
entourage.
travel with the Queen to the summit? I'd be honored.
Yes, I think that's the right play. You will, of course, have time to relay the full details of your father's story at that time.
Oh, I don't think the Queen would be interested in
Nonsense. Now go. Say pretty things to my guests and enjoy yourselves for the rest of the evening.
Say pretty things. I will say pretty things to them. Like daffodil and perfume and rainbows. Alright, you must visit more often. The party wouldn't have gone nearly as much fun without you. The Queen sends her gratitude as well. She can now attend your summit. I'll be there as well, though incognito. That's wonderful news. I appreciate your support, Countess. If you have any objections, I believe we will help dear Casimir with me. Wait, I believe I will keep dear Casimir with me for a while. We have much to talk about, don't we, pet? Pet? One last question. If you knew Estelle was guilty, why not just out her? Put simply, I'm too close to the Queen for my claims to be believable without support. I'd lose much if our dear Jenna were incarcerated, and the ministers know it. That's where you came in. I understand. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Goodbye for now. Alright, we finished this instance here. We got a chaos orb. A humming emanates from this orb. It could be amplified with an additional source of chaotic radiation. 3 bags of dusty loot, geodes, champion loot bag, and some imperial fragments. So, party politics completed.
I trust I played my part in your charade this evening.
There, Blossom. You did very well as the sour green thumb at my fair. I'm sure everyone was far too intimidated by your glowering menace to notice it was an illusion standing beside you.
He was used as part of the diversion.
Yes, I thought you seemed rather vapid.
She's laughing over there. I can't wait to tell Jory how you solved the mystery. She's going to be so proud of you. And of you, that lie detecting thing you do is wow. It certainly comes in handy, though it's still a bit unreliable. It works best on total strangers. I keep practicing, though. Will you be going with Marjorie to the summit? The Countess asks if I travel with the Queen to the summit. It's an honor to be asked. I'll see you there, though. Who knows? This may be my chance to get my title back. That would be wonderful. Well, that's going to wrap things up, folks. I hope you liked this instance of the Party Politics playthrough. If you did, please hit that like and favorite before you go. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I go live with future videos. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. And I'll see you next time. Take care.